Not all the
If
time.
it's PIECE.
Well, I was gonna save this for the end, but there's a really bad joke. Who likes bad jokes? Like just really lame jokes. Okay, so one of the items in our dinner today it's matar alu. So if you're not able to find peace after today, you can find peace for dinner.
I still don't get it, so I'll pretend that.
Oh, peace.
Mother is called peace.
Peace.
Ah.
All right, now that we're all smiling. So when we want to search for something, we obviously have to know where it is, what it is, where to find it, what it looks like, all that kind of a thing. So when we say we're searching for peace, what does that mean to all of us? Does it mean be one with the blade of grass? I am the wind? Like what does peace look like to you? Huh? No stress, okay. Okay. So peace as the absence of something that is aggravating, like stress. That's what you're saying? Okay. What else?
Being in comfort.
What's it?
Mental relief.
Mental relief. Okay.
Probably being in comfort zone kind of stuff.
Okay, comfort zone. Okay. Generally, these kinds of things. So what are factors that contribute to this state of mind, this state of being?
Anxiety.
Wait, you're saying that contribute to peace?
Yeah, that contribute to an absence of stress or a sense of mental relief or a sense of comfort. Like,
causes those.
Yeah, yeah.
what's that?
It was not clear.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Probably our circle, like with whom we are close to.
Yeah, our circle,
Okay,
our community.
okay.
Either that or no people.
Okay, so community or lack of, that's interesting. We'll just put a little emoji. Okay. So what does it look like though? Like, okay, I'm here. Now what?
You're more like you're just living in the present. You're just living in the present, like now.
Okay.
Then
So you're saying it's a little bit more of a mental state,
Yeah.
like being present, okay?
So you're not anxious about the future or worried about your past mistakes.
Okay. Present, past, future, and you're saying here. That's what you were saying?
Wait.
Or do you want to illustrate it?
Like you're just staying in the present without thinking of either of the others.
Okay.
Like being mindful.
And
Because you can't change either of the other ones. You
Mm.
can change what's happening now.
oh yeah, that.
Enjoy the moment.
Okay, so that's a nice point. So can't change the past, can't control the future. So carpe diem. Seize the day, live in the moment, live in the now. And-
Carpe diem.
Did I say something different?
No, he liked that.
Oh, you like that? Okay. Sorry. It's been a wild week. Okay, so if you're saying present, are you saying that it's not possible to be peaceful about the future or the past? Are you saying it's not possible to feel peaceful about the future or the past?
It is possible provided you're like satisfied. Provided you're satisfied with it.
Okay, so there's an element of satisfaction. So what's the more important factor then? Is it being present or is it more the satisfaction
satisfaction of both of those. Hence, you wouldn't concentrate on them like right now. So you can like concentrate on the present moment.
Okay.
Since you're satisfied with the past and the future.
Okay. Now, just curious, what does satisfaction mean to all of us? Because there's one end of the spectrum where we could say it's kind of like complacency. I'm satisfied, I don't want to move. Some people may see that as no ambition, no vision, all of these things that fall in that category of like, let's go and do something. What's the other end of satisfaction look like?
You got what you wanted.
You have what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's an interesting idea of satisfaction as having what you want.
Want or need?
What do you think?
It's more about want.
Want.
Because you might not necessarily know what you need.
Now, how many of us have everything that we want?
Good job.
Okay? And at the beginning, we asked how many of us are peaceful. So if we're saying an essential ingredient to peace is having what you want, something's not compatible here. So is it possible to have everything that we want? Okay? Seeing some shaking heads? No. Is there a limit to what we want? No. So then what's the question of peace? Okay, done. No peace.
No, so maybe like having what you want, but I mean, like, what is like high priority? Like, I want food right now, so I will get food. But for example, no. And then like, I want like a good grade in this, but then that won't be like until like next month or something. So that's not exactly high priority at the present moment. So something like that.
But what's the quality of that kind of having what you want?
Self-contented.
Okay, so you're talking a little bit more self-contentment. I'm going to create a little bit of a parking lot because we can explore that a little bit. I just want to kind of go down this road a little bit before we do that. Okay. So we don't forget about it. All right, so you're talking about an immediate need being satisfied. I'm hungry so I can eat. Okay, now I'm peaceful. I want a good grade. That's a month away. So can you be peaceful about that?
I don't need to worry about it right now.
How many of us would be in that camp? I don't need to worry about my grade until a month from now. Yeah. Okay, so it's different things for different people in that sense. For some of us, that may be a big source of anxiety. But still, what is the quality of that peace? If the peace is the immediate need of my senses, or the immediate need of, let's say, my academic aspirations, and let's say one of those things gets taken away or isn't fulfilled, does that mean I can no longer be peaceful in my life? So it implies that there's something else working underneath that as a source of peace. So there are a few things. So there's that idea of self-contentment. And what is that? How does that relate to this idea of satisfaction?
Enjoy with what you have.
Okay, so seeking joy with what's there, not wanting
Something we don't have.
not wanting something you don't have. Now, how do you balance that idea though with things like ambition?
We have to.
I think there's a level of decoupling that you can exercise, like, even if you don't get, that shouldn't like affect.
Okay, so you're bringing about the idea of detachment from, like detachment from the outcome in that way. Like, I want this, but my whole life is not resting on that one thing.
Yeah.
Or that one experience or situation, okay?
I mean, you can still work towards this, that can still be your goal, but not letting it affect like your daily mood probably.
Okay. And that's an interesting also kind of balancing act, because when we say detachment, there's a difference between detachment and apathy. Apathy is I don't care. Detachment is it's something that means something to me. I have a certain purpose or desire to fulfill, but there's a healthy level of acceptance that I can't control the outcome. How many of us believe that the person who studies the hardest succeeds the most in life? Okay. Okay, so a few hands. How many of us have received recognition that we didn't deserve? So you can get the idea that there are things that happen, both may be favorable and sometimes less favorable to our immediate perception of it, that maybe we weren't, let's say, the most talented athlete or the best speaker or the most qualified to get into a certain institution or program or whatever it might be, but it happened. And there are times where we feel like we were cheated, where we just knew from the core of our being that we were the best, we were the most capable, but it didn't happen. And so that's where this aspect of acceptance becomes so important. And related to that, the idea of meaning. What kind of meaning can we extract from these situations? And so it's incorporating that aspect of, again, taking us up to what is that overarching theme or that goal or that principle, that guiding principle in our lives? And how can I start to see every situation in line with that overarching principle of life? And in that way, it doesn't become a source of disturbance, it becomes a teacher, a facilitator for that overarching, that journey of self-discovery that we're all on. Now, I wanted to ask, because there was that exercise that you found and you were sharing. Did you send that? Because I really wanted to jump into that. There's this really nice exercise, and I'm going to ask everyone to break off into pairs, because we're going to have just a kind of discussion prompt. And
I sent you everything.
oh, you did? Okay. Cool. Give me a minute to pull that up then. This is also from Rukmini Potter, the same one that had that painting one. This is not artwork this week, though it was really nice. How did you send it?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Who's the one at the bottom?
It's which one?
Are you looking at the one at the bottom?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask everyone, does everyone have a partner? If not, raise your hand if you don't have a partner. We're breaking into pairs. So if you don't have a partner, please raise your hand and find somebody else with a raised hand. Okay. Okay. He doesn't have a partner. Okay, if just simplicity's sake, if you want to be a group of three and you want to be a group of three, that's fine.
So us three.
Oh, yeah, you can also be a group of 3. All right, break into triples. No, I'm joking. You can stay in pairs. And so this is an exercise that was shared by Rukmini Poddar, and she says, "There's been a consistent heaviness I've been carrying in my heart each day. Some days I don't feel the weight, and other days it's definitely there. It's invisible, it's hard to articulate, but it's there. I'm also recognizing for this season of time is bringing a collective heaviness for so many around the world. There's loss, uncertainty, strained relationships, and loneliness. It's helpful to name what is making the heart heavy, to give it a picture and to set it free. This tender, self-forgiving approach to feeling can help us process and move through difficult emotions." And adding this part is helping us to move to this level of acceptance. So what heaviness have you felt recently? And where do you think it's coming from? So if you are comfortable, to whatever degree you're comfortable, first of all, just close your eyes for a minute and just examine yourselves deep inside. What is that? Maybe it's a little bit of heaviness, maybe it's a very pronounced heaviness. And so some examples that she gives might be invisible emptiness, a hurting and broken heart, a cloud of worries, carrying the weight of the world, an unease with my own numbness, disappointed expectations. What is that heaviness that you're carrying? And giving it a label is a very first powerful step to being able to just see it, accept it, and move past it. So just take a minute, look inside and reflect. And then when you feel ready, speak with your partners, share what's there to whatever degree you're comfortable. And then we'll do that for a couple of minutes, and then we'll have a little bit of a share.
That was like a very important time. And a lot of Guru or Ashirwad was
Right. But pain which is permanent, like I mean, where do they can say
where almost all the love, scale code and the knuckle, like it is like a very big, like Ashton in the knuckle, like relatives on the basis. Being and that is like a very big, sort of like a Kumari Gopal, like, how can we do this? Like elders
but அப்படி பார்க்கும்போது பேசுவாங்க எல்லாத்துக்குமே யாரும் வந்து ஹெல்ப்
நிறைய சொல்லி பார்த்தாச்சு அது வந்து இட்ஸ் லைக் சர்க்கிள் எனக்கு இது ஃபைனலி இதோட கனெக்ட் ஆகும் அண்ட் அதுவே அப்படியே பேசிடுது every time the conversation comes up, it's like, really, I know that we say it.
அப்போ என்னென்ன எதிர்பார்க்குறேன்னு பார்ப்பாங்க.
Vicky asked me just in the face and பார்க்குறேன்னு சொன்னா. But then also they are trying to get hold of the natural எல்லாரும் free-ஆ இருந்தாங்க. And some people they are like preoccupied. அதான் இப்போ எப்போ
Like ஒரு combination at least understand the context, so that's a good thing.
Well, let's take a minute. How many of us need a little bit more time? Okay. You good, or do you need a few more? All right. Just a quick question. How many of us were able to put a label to the heaviness? And it may be big, heavy, or a little heavy, but how many of us were able to put a label to it?
multiple labels.
Multiple labels, okay. Okay. And would anyone care to share how you found the experience of at least identifying, writing, articulating what that thing is? Would anyone like to share what that experience was like? Not necessarily what the heaviness is, but just the experience of that discovery and articulation.
It's a lot like reliving.
Huh?
It's a lot like reliving your.
What?
Like reliving.
Oh, reliving. Oh, okay. Like the act of thinking about it and articulating was like reliving the heaviness for you. Okay? And how do you feel now that you're out of that meditation, I guess we could say?
To be honest, I was happy before, now I'm heavy about it. I was trying so hard to distract myself, keeping it up for 1 month.
Her Friday.
I have to lock it back again.
Oh, yeah. All right, anyone else? Anyone? Well, it's interesting you're saying that, because sometimes facing what that heaviness is in our heart, that source of disturbance that's taking away from a peaceful state, recognizing, acknowledging, labeling, seeing is sometimes a very important step in confronting and actually getting to that level of acceptance. In one way, I mean, I studied architecture and structural engineering, so one way that at least I like to think about it is you can build this really fantastic building, but if there's not a good foundation, the building's, it's just a matter of time before it collapses in a very fantastic way. And so part of this acknowledgement of these sources of disturbances, building that solid foundation for the rest of our lives. That there has to be a certain level of self-honesty and acceptance of me as an entire person in order to be peaceful in a steady way. Otherwise, that sense of internal peace, it's just very conditional. Today I feel calm and present, I can take all this on, and the next day I'm a total wreck. And so I want to read a meditation that was shared by Jay Shetty, which is really nice, and we'll use that for our meditation exercise today. And it relates to the nature of peace. And as, just thinking about the topic for this week, with all of the turmoil going on in the world around us, it seemed like an especially pertinent point because, we're here as students or professionals, living our own lives, and we don't have the concerns that not just Ukraine, but many areas of the world have. So in that way, we're very fortunate. But it doesn't mean that it's not disturbing.